Hi YouTubers, it's the next video I'll be video out. So it's going to be a video of me smoking a cigar, so nice big ass cigar. So I have my cigar right here, and yes, I'm going to actually do a video of me smoking a cigar. So I try to do this at least once a week because obviously my apartment in Massachusetts, it's so damn cold, you're damn hot, we're damn. I can't do videos of me smoking cigars because the smoking area is kind of secluded. So anyway, I want to do a video right now of me smoking a cigar. So I'm at my parents' house right now in Massachusetts. Disclaimer: have a little bit of a cold, so I am coming down with like allergies or a cold. So my voice is a little hoarse. So if my voice sounds a little bit hoarse, no, it's not from smoking. It's from just because I have a little bit of like a cold. So so I'm not actually like really sick, but you get the point. So this is going to be a cigar review right now. It's going to be the Punch 1840 Diablo. So this is a nice big ass cigar. So anyway, let's smoke this. I already pre-cut it. So oh, and disclaimer: long video. It's going to be a very long video. If you don't like long videos, don't whine, don't bitch. It's going to be a very long video. So. Whew. Very potent smoke. Whew. Yeah, try and get the smoke out of the garage. Like I said before, the first light of a cigar or pipe is usually the strongest. So, whew. Very peppery. So, long story short about the cigar, nice big ass cigar. I was at my liquor store today in town, and I asked the guy for a recommendation. The store in town has a very nice humidor, nice big ass humidor, like the big ass cigar. And they have not a huge humidor, but they have a nice little walk-in humidor. And I asked the guy for a recommendation, and he said this cigar right here. It was about, I believe I paid for the cigar, this Punch Diablo, something or another. I paid, I want to say, I think like $8, $8.50 or something like that. I know some people are laughing their asses off because they're in Pennsylvania and Florida. It's tobacco paradise. Yeah, I think I paid $8.49 including tax, so about $9. Yeah, I think I paid just over $9 for the cigar. Whew, get the smoke out of the garage. Yeah, it gets very smoky in here. Anyway, whew, right off the bat, very strong. I asked the guy at the liquor store, sorry, one sec. I asked the guy at the liquor store for a full-bodied cigar, full strength, lot of flavor, a lot of body. He recommended this cigar right here. I haven't smoked a Punch cigar for a long ass time, like the big ass cigar. Punch cigars are owned by General Cigars, like La Gloria Cubana, Partagas. Those cigars, nice big ass cigars, and they are one of the biggest cigar companies in the world. So of the non-Cuban cigars, and then obviously if you're in Cuba or in other countries, you can get like Cuban versions of Punch, that kind of stuff, that kind of shit. So anyway. Yeah, pretty nice. So has kind of a earthy flavor, very earthy, and the smoke is very strong. I know you can't smell it because we don't have smell-o-vision, smell-o-vision. Big ass cigar like being silly ass like the big ass cigar, but very strong foot smoke. So very peppery. So smells like burning leaves or burning wood. So kind of like Latakia in a way. And speaking of Latakia, it's been a long ass time since I smoked Latakia in a pipe. It's probably been, I don't know, probably a couple of, I don't know, the last time I smoked a lot of Kia. Well, actually, I lied about that. So, probably the last time I smoked a lot of Kia in a pipe was probably, I think I actually got, was it Latakia or was it, I think I got a sample from my tobacconist, Watch the Cigar in Massachusetts, be so damn cold or damn hot or damn. So, I got a sample of a Latakia pipe tobacco for a while back, and then I smoked that. So, but it's been the last time I bought Latakia. It's been a long time. I did buy two English blends on my order this past order, so I do have two new English blends to review. I haven't smoked a Latakia in a long time. It's just I just kind of gotten bored of English pipe tobaccos, quote English pipe tobaccos. And the reason I say quote unquote English is because English pipe tobaccos are pipe tobaccos from England, from Great Britain, and Latakia pipe tobaccos are Latakia tobaccos. Just because a tobacco has Latakia does not make it an English tobacco. So the reason tobaccos are called English is because they're from England. So anyway, not going to get into a big ramble about that kind of bullshit. So anyway. Yeah, this is pretty strong. This has a lot of flavor. Very deep, earthy. Definitely has a big oomph to it. Big oomph. Big ass oomph. Definitely has a nice flavor. I'm not sure if I'm going to retrohale just because I don't want my sinuses to burn. I also do have a little bit of a cold. So anyway. So how you guys been? So I've been doing well. Still working at Roche Brothers in Massachusetts. Be so damn cold here, or damn hot here, or damn. So a lot of people wonder why I say damn a lot. I get some OCD. So people wonder. People say hey dude, why the fuck do you say big ass cigar all the time? It's just my catchphrase. Big ass cigar, or the word ass like big ass cigar, silly ass like the big ass cigar. It's just my catchphrase. So. It's something that started a couple of years ago on my channel. A couple of years ago, actually a few years ago on my channel, back in 2015, the whole idea of big ass cigars, like the big ass cigar, that was a big thing back in 2016, also on my channel, and it's just a catchphrase. I like to use the word ass, the word ass, and yes, ass is a crude word, so, and that's why my videos are for adults for the last freaking time. My videos are for adults. They're not meant for anyone under 18. I say this every single time. They're meant for people over 18. So, yeah, I think I am getting a little bit sick. I think I woke up this morning at my parents' house in Massachusetts, with a kind of a sore throat. So I don't think it's anything serious. I think it's just. I mean, it could be allergies. It could be allergies because the ragweed's really high around this time of the year. But it also could be I'm getting a touch of a cold, because honestly, when you work at Roche Brothers in Massachusetts, or any grocery store, anytime you use shopping carts, I try to wash my hands constantly and use hand sanitizer, at the grocery store, because I'm doing shopping carts. Honestly, you touch so much fucking shit. It's not even it's unfucking believable. I mean, you touch so much crap, and people, leave, whatever, all that kind of crap, I mean, I'm not saying people are dirty in general. Believe me, I'm not criticizing people, but just by touching shopping carts and groceries, you touch so much shit, it's unbelievable. So, yes, the word shit. So, it's unbelievable. Not even crap, shit. So, unfreaking believable how much, germs you, that's the whole purpose, is the whole, germs is how much you touch. So, I mean, it's probably unbelievable. That's why you have to wash your hands so constantly when you work in retail, is because you're touching so much germs. I mean, little kids that blow their nose, have boogers coming out of their nose, they're spitting up whatever, all that kind of crap, It's like, you're touching so much shit, so many germs are in the environment, and this is the time of the year, the fall time, when people get colds and get flus, all that kind of shit, So, and I obviously got a flu shot. I got a flu shot to make sure I don't get the flu, because the flu is a lot worse. I mean, a cold is a pain in the ass. I mean, believe me, it's a pain in the ass. It is a bitch to deal with, you know. But the flu is a totally different thing. I mean, you're throwing up, you're having diarrhea, you're having the shits, you know. You're all kinds of shit, you know, for 2 or 3 weeks. So. If a lot of people remember, if people watch my videos for a very long time, and I mean a very long time, back about, I'd say, 7 years ago, in the fall of 2012, I got pneumonia. So, yeah, I got pneumonia. That was from sharing food. So, pneumonia and also a ruptured eardrum. And that was terrible. So, I had pneumonia and bronchitis 7 years ago for like 3 weeks. And I was coughing my fucking brains out. So, unfucking believable. I mean, a cold will run its course. I mean, cold is a virus, so there's nothing you can do about viruses. You can take like aspirin, you can take like, you know, over-the-counter shit, you know, that kind of stuff, you know. But a cold just has to run its course. But as long as you don't get an ear infection, as long as you don't get strep throat or, you know, sinus infection, that kind of stuff. The way you can tell is when you get like color discharge, like, you know, yellow and greenish discharge. That means there's an infection there. So obviously, for the last time, I am not a doctor. So do not take my videos too seriously. I am not a doctor. I am not a nurse. I am not a medical professional. Some people take my videos a little bit too seriously. There are people, excuse me, there are people who take my videos a little bit too seriously, who actually think, you know, I am a professional advisor. Like, people have asked me, you know, for actual legal advice. I'm not a lawyer for the last time. People have asked me, you know, am I like a patient myself? I did a video on like lymphoma, which is cancer, you know, and people asked me like, do you actually have lymphoma yourself? I said, no, this is just, my videos are, the whole point I'm trying to make is these videos are just general information. So my medical videos, medical Thursday, like the Big Ass Cigar, is just general information. It's just general fun information. It's not meant to be detailed, it's not meant to be long, that kind of shit, you know. It's just meant to be general information. By no means of the stretch of the imagination is it professional medical advice. I'm not consulting with doctors. I'm not looking up, you know, loads and loads of research. You know, I'm not doing, you know, hours and hours of research on, you know, this and that kind of shit. You know. So anyway, one sec, YouTubers.
I'm just going to take a walk.
That's fine.
You'll tell Dad.
Yeah, I will. Yep. Sorry, YouTubers. That was just my mother. So anyway. So she just came back from walking with a friend, so she's going to go take a walk herself. We live in a pretty nice neighborhood. Yeah, this cigar is pretty nice. I would say it's kind of medium-bodied or so. Definitely not the strongest cigar I've had. I would say the strongest cigar I've had. A lot of people ask me this kind of questions, this kind of shit. You know, people say like, "What's the strongest cigar you've ever had?" Or "What's your favorite cigar?" Or like, "What's the most delicious cigar you ever had?" I'm not a cigar encyclopedia. You know, other people have said this before on YouTube. You know, it's like beating a dead horse. You know, really, I'd say if you had to ask me the strongest cigar I've ever had. One of the strongest cigars I ever had was actually a Padron cigar. It was the Padron 90th. So that came out a couple of years ago, back in 2015, 2016. No, sorry, 2016, 2017. Sorry about that. Sorry, there's a plane going on my head. Yes, very annoying. Yeah. The Padron 90th, which came out in 2016, 2017. I smoked that in my tobacco smoking lounge back in 2017, right before I moved into my apartment in Massachusetts. You know, it'd be so damn cold here, damn hot here, damn. And that was actually a very strong cigar. I was actually surprised because Padron in general is not very strong. I mean, some people say they get a buzz out of Padron cigars. I don't think you do. So the majority of Padron cigars, I don't get a buzz out of it. However, with a few exceptions here and there, there's a few Padron cigars that are a little bit strong. However, this one, the 90th, especially I think it was the Natural Maduro. I think it was the Natural, gave me a huge buzz. I mean, I had decent amount of my stomach. This is right around the time I started the gluten-free diet. I had just been on the gluten-free diet for a few days, and I was trying to figure out what kind of foods I was going to eat, because obviously it's a different diet. And man, that Padron cigar, that Padron Natural Maduro, holy shit, it gave me a big buzz. I mean, holy shit. I mean, it gave me a big buzz. I mean, I didn't feel sick, but I felt very lightheaded and dizzy. So, and at that point, 2017, I've been smoking for, let's see, 2009, almost 8 years. I mean, no, I mean, that gave me a huge buzz. I felt actually a little bit nauseous after smoking that cigar. So, and a lot of people say, like, obviously drink, sugar water, sugar, soda, that kind of stuff, because that helps, raise your blood sugar. So the reason why people ask me, why do you get a buzz after smoking a cigar? Why do you feel sick? Why do you feel nauseous? Why do you feel like you're going to throw up? It's because, this is something I learned from somebody who's a cigar aficionado, is it's because your blood sugar is being lowered. Now, obviously, when you have like sugar or like honey, molasses, whatever, that kind of shit, obviously if you're diabetic, you don't do this. I mean, if you're diabetic, you shouldn't be smoking in the first place. Some people do, that's fine. That's their own personal choice. That's their own dignity of risk, whatever, But, obviously, you're diabetic, don't, ingest a huge amount of sugar. So you're in for a bad trip, But if you're not diabetic, the easiest way to kill the feeling, kill the sick feeling after smoking a cigar is to have sugar, just a spoonful of cane sugar, just plain sugar, not brown sugar, not, candy. I mean, you can do pretty much anything that has a lot of sugar, because the whole purpose is you're raising your blood sugar. So, and obviously, if you're diabetic, that's a bad idea, because diabetics, can have a serious side effect to sugar in general. So, but obviously, everyone makes their own decisions. So you can try to advise people, otherwise, but it's really their decision. So, assuming they're an adult. So, assuming the person is over 18, over 21, it's really their decision at the end of the day. I mean, people can say you're making a poor decision, you're choosing to harm your own body, but at the end of the day, it's kind of your own choice. So it's a completely different thing when you're talking about people who are under 18. So this is a good cigar. Peppery, earthy, has kind of a actually pretty slow burn. I'm almost 18 minutes, and I hope this is going to record, because I really want to do the whole video of me smoking the actual cigar. I hope this iPad's going to be able to handle the memory. So if for whatever reason it cuts off a few minutes, do not be pissed. Don't be bullshit. Don't have a pissy fit. Don't be a bitchy fit. And whatever. So, and yes, I've been swearing a lot, so I'm going to age restrict this video. I think this iPad can handle about 30 to 40 minutes of memory, so I'm not going to, I'll see. I mean, I still have a few minutes. So, that is how you kill the sick feeling after a cigar, is just sugar. You can drink Coca-Cola, Pepsi Cola, Mountain Dew, Dr. Pepper, 7-Up, whatever, all that kind of shit, as long as you're raising your blood sugar. So honey, molasses, cane sugar, coffee with sugar, tea with honey, doesn't really matter. Doesn't really matter what you do. So anyway, people also ask, like, what's your favorite cigar? I don't really have one favorite cigar. I mean, that's like asking what your favorite food is. I mean, I'm pretty, chubby, it's like, so I mean, I have a lot of different types of food that I like, if you can't tell. But, if you had to ask me what's your favorite cigar brand, like in terms of brands of cigars, your favorite cigar brand, I would say Padron. P-A-R, no, how do you spell it? P-A... P-A-R-P-A-D... So I'm sorry. I'm having a brain fart right here. P-A-D-R-O... I don't know. You get the point. So, Padron Cigars. So, anyway, we're not going to spend enough time, rambling, that kind of bullshit. So, anyway, Padron Cigar. So, Padron Cigars, not Padron, like the tequila, not the tequila, but Padron Cigars. Google it, YouTube it. Padron is a excellent cigar brand. I mean, and they are expensive. And that's the reason why I don't smoke them very often, is because I don't have the cash. So, their 64s, their 1926s, their family reserves are excellent. They are probably the best cigar I've ever smoked. I mean, other people like Cigar Obsession, Brian Gladden, say the same thing. Padron is one of the very few cigar brands that has exceptional quality. They are exceptionally good. If I was rich, if I had a ton of cash, like I won the lottery, whatever, I would smoke Padrones every single day. I mean, every single day. I would smoke them every single day, because they are the best cigar brand out there. I mean, I just don't have that kind of money. I'm just not rich, rich ass like the big ass cigar. So, they are one of the best brands out there. I mean, they are fantastic. I mean, the amount of age they put into their cigars, the amount of work they put into their cigars, it is freaking amazing. So, anyway, that's really my favorite cigar brand. Now, in terms of my favorite cigar, that's harder to say, sorry. If you were, stuck on a deserted island and you had one cigar to choose from, one sec. Sorry, I just had to spit. One cigar to choose from, what cigar would you pick? I would say probably, if I had to choose, maybe the 1926 number 9 Maduro. That has a decent amount of body and strength. I mean, that's an excellent cigar. I mean, here in Massachusetts, because we're damn cold, or damn hot, or damn, we're paying for that cigar, close to $30, I know in Pennsylvania and Florida, people are, laughing their fucking asses off because, they're paying, $18 for that cigar, and for the regular Padron series, we're paying, $10 to $15 a piece. In Pennsylvania and Florida, people are laughing their fucking asses off because they're paying, like $5. It's like, it's really freaking amazing, because you really can't. It's like, people message me on YouTube. People have messaged me over the years. I'm just tapping off the ash. And said, dude, you got ripped off. I paid, $10 for that cigar. You paid $20. But what people don't realize is prices for cigars vary dramatically depending on states. Literally, a cigar could be $5 a piece in this state, and it could be $20 a piece in another state or another country. So prices vary dramatically depending where you live. So that's why a lot of cigar reviewers, like Cigar Obsession, Brian Glenn, doesn't list prices, because prices vary so much. I mean, here in Massachusetts, we're paying up the ass for tobacco taxes. I mean, we're paying, a pack of cigarettes around here is $10 to $13 a pack. Cigars are a lot of money. So you really can't base on like, well, it's like, wow, you paid, $20 a piece for a cigar. I only paid $8 for a piece for that, because you live in a state with a low tobacco tax, which is not the norm. So most people live in a state with a very high tobacco tax. It's kind of a pet peeve of mine where people think, oh, every state is tobacco friendly. Oh, just because I live in Pennsylvania or Florida or, South Carolina or Georgia, where it's tobacco paradise, and, there's a beautiful, acre size, walk-in humidor, in every cigar shop, and the people are so friendly, and it's like, they don't even check ID, just being silly ass like the big ass cigar, I'm being sarcastic here, obviously people should check ID, it's like, you can't base your experience. I mean, you have to, the only way you could be sure for certain is to go to every state, every country, every cigar shop. Because prices do vary a lot. I mean, I've heard stories like in Florida, you can get a cheap like house brand cigar for 50 cents a dollar. I mean, they taste like ass, they taste like bullshit, they taste like horse shit, but you can get them for like a dollar. Here in Massachusetts, we're paying $4. It's like, for a house brand cigar that tastes like horse ass, or horse shit, So you can't base your general principle on just because you're lucky. I mean, if you are lucky and you live in a state with a very low tobacco tax, pat the back to you. Kiss your ass. It's like, you're very, very lucky. It's like, I'm not lucky. I mean, I live in a state with a very high tobacco tax. Like, for example, I'll give you a perfect example. When I used to go to, vacation in Vermont, to the little bed and breakfast that my parents used to go to. We haven't gone there for a couple of years. I mean, Vermont, even for example, I mean, their tobacco taxes are very high, but they're not nearly as high as Massachusetts. It's like you can get like a can of dip, and a can of chewing tobacco in Vermont for $6 or $7, $8 a can. Here in Massachusetts, it's $10 to $12 a can. So it's like even Vermont has a little bit more tobacco friendly. It's like it's more rural and more people smoke and use tobacco products in Vermont. So not Massachusetts. So don't think just because like before you write me a comment and say, dude, you got ripped off, there's no way that you pay the right amount of money, do some research first, do some research before, actually expressing your opinions. As they say, opinions are like assholes, everyone has one. So, so back to the cigar, pretty nice, has a pretty nice draw, no tar coming out, pretty nice. It is, I'd say overall, pretty plain. Punch cigars, in my view, my personal opinion, just like my asshole, everyone has one, is honestly punch cigars. They're pretty standard. I mean, the first third of the cigar had more complexity. Strength-wise, I mean, I asked the guy for a full-strength cigar. Strength-wise, this is not a kick-your-ass cigar. So this is, medium strength. I'm getting a little bit of a buzz. I'm a little lightheaded, nothing overwhelming. Not going to, bother you or anything. I mean, I'll check the body. Yeah, pretty plain. It's very smooth. It's very silky smooth. Not quite like aged. I mean, you can tell it's still pretty young, the tobacco there. When people say tobacco is young, that means the aging process. Believe it or not, cigars are not like cigarettes. They are aged. They are fermented. They are, different types of processing, manufacture process, like fire cured, this and that, for some cigars. And they are basically, aged just like wine or bourbon or whiskey or scotch or any kind of like liquor, that kind of shit. So they are basically, aged and put in, barrels, huge barrels, and it's unfreaking believable, how complex the aging process is. It gets rid of all the nasty toxins like ammonia, nicotine, all that kind of shit, all that stuff you don't want. Because people who smoke cigars, people ask me, why the hell are you smoking cigars if you're not inhaling, it's because the whole purpose of smoking a cigar is not to get buzzed out of your mind and be throwing up, like the people with the stupid, electronic cigarettes, people getting sick and, getting all those, terrible, lung illnesses, the whole purpose is to enjoy the flavors and relax, And people who smoke cigars don't smoke 10 cigars a day or even 5 cigars a day or even 2 cigars a day. People who smoke cigars typically smoke a couple a week, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, Some people smoke cigars once a year. I mean, some people go a full year without smoking a cigar. It's not an addiction. It's not about, I have to smoke a cigar, I'm going to get withdrawals, I'm going to get headaches, cravings. It's like, I'm enjoying this. It's a gentleman's hobby. And people who are, telling you you're wasting your money because you're not inhaling. First off, if you inhale cigars, you are gonna cough your fucking brains out. Nobody inhales cigars. Nobody, unless you're a heavy, unfiltered Camel, unfiltered, cigarette smoker, or Lucky Strike cigarette smoker, or you're like, or you smoke, weed, whatever, you're not, you're not inhaling cigars, first of all. You're not smoking them every single day, some people do, some people, do inhale cigars. I don't think it's a good idea, or, some people, do smoke, like 6 cigars a day. And, those are the people who are having the health problems. Those are the people who make a bad name for people who smoke cigars. Those are the people who are developing gum disease, losing their teeth, those are people who are getting like mouth cancer at 50 or 60 years old because they smoke like 10 cigars a day, So, honestly, I'm not a doctor, I'm not giving you medical advice. If you smoke 1 cigar every 2 weeks, honestly, it's like, that's really not a big deal. It's like, yes, there's a potential risk there. It's like, it's your own comfort level, whatever, that kind of bullshit, and, whatever. So, but, it's like, you're not smoking constantly throughout the day. It's like, not to mention cigars and pipe tobacco. Most pipe tobacco in the majority of cigars, when I say cigars, I'm talking about premium cigars. I'm not talking about the crap you get at 7-Eleven, the shit you get at 7-Eleven, which is gas station, like Swisher Sweets, Black and Milds, Gar's Faded Game, Phillies Blunts, White Owl, that kind of crap, that kind of shit, I'm talking about like actual premium cigars, they're additive free. There's just tobacco in this. There's no filter, there's no crap, there's no like formaldehyde, there's no like arsenic, added. All the stuff that's in the cigar that's producing the smoke is natural chemicals that occur when tobacco is burned. So yes, there are chemicals when the tobacco is burned, but that's all natural. Same thing if you burn leaves, or you burn rubber, or you burn tires, or you burn wood or paper, there's obviously going to be chemicals there because you're burning a material, organic material. But there's not like they're not purposely adding chemicals. The cigarette companies are evil. They're adding all this ammonia, this crap, this shit. This tar, this formaldehyde, arsenic, Trillium, all this crap and all this shit, in the cigarettes, and then they have this paper, this filter. It's nasty. It's it's disgusting. I'm at 32 minutes. I hope this is going to record. I'm almost done. Oh, ash fell off. Luckily, my garage floor is stone, so it doesn't catch fire. Yeah, so the bottom line is you're not smoking cigars like cigarettes. You're not smoking every single day. You're just, it's a hobby. It's like it's a hobby. It's like wine tasting, or watches or something like that. That's the bottom line. Yeah, this cigar is pretty good. It does have a little bit of a tight draw. Yeah, sometimes I get a little bit of a gag when I smoke a little bit too quickly. I would, if I were you, I would smoke a little bit slower than I do. I tend to smoke a little bit faster. But if you do smoke fast like me, you can get a little bit of a gag in your mouth. Also, you can get tongue bites. So, tongue bites when you smoke a little bit too fast. And yes, you can get tongue bites with cigars also. Yeah, this is not too strong. This is I'd say a medium strength cigar. It has a decent amount of nicotine, decent amount of nicotine. What tobaccos have a lot of nicotine with cigars is the Lajaro. So I can't spell it, but Lajaro is what has a lot of nicotine. That's what has a lot of that oomph, that that strength that makes you dizzy and lightheaded. So so yeah, this is a good cigar. So I'm at all 35 minutes. So I'm enjoying, rambling with you guys and doing videos. I know a lot of people miss seeing me smoke because at my apartment complex I can't smoke, well, I can smoke on the property, but I can't, really film myself, because there's other people outside smoking, so people have asked me, hey, Smoking Essie, do a video of you smoking at work. And the answer is no. I don't do smoke breaks. I don't take smoke breaks at work. I don't feel the need. I'm not going to do a smoke break at work. So people have asked me, like, you should do a video of you smoking at work, doing a smoke break. The thing is, I don't take smoke breaks at work. So and that's the whole thing about, not being addicted. So this is good. So not much else to talk about. Back to the whole thing about, like, what's your favorite cigar, what's your favorite this and that. I don't really have one favorite cigar. I mean, maybe the Padron 1926 No. 9 Maduro, that's a really good cigar. The 80 Years Good also, that's a very good cigar. Definitely has a lot of oomph, a lot of body to it. Kind of hard to smoke, though, it's a double torpedo size or a torpedo size cigar. One thing I hate is, and I'm definitely somebody who agrees with this on this point, is I am not a fan of shaped cigars, like torpedoes, bellicosos, figurados, pyramids. Those are not good cigars, because honestly it's all marketing. That's all it is marketing. The only reason why cigar companies make cigars like that is because to increase their revenue. It adds nothing to the cigar. All it does is create problems for you smoking it. And a lot of times with torpedo cigars, you'll see like tar bubbles, you'll see like tight draws, tight as a nun's asshole, draws, just a pain in the ass, just a pain in the ass, and just not really, really worth smoking. I tend to get cigars, they're a cylinder shape, this cylinder shape, they're just, regular cigars, nice big ass cigars. So that's my bottom line is, I'm not a big fan of the, the Gucci, quote unquote, like Gucci cigars. They like, those giant, donkey dick size cigars. They're, 90 ring gauge. They have a gigantic, ring size. It looks like you're putting a cock in your mouth. It's like, no, it's like, those are a piece of crap. It's like, I've smoked them before, I smoked, I think the biggest cigar I ever smoked was a Flor de Olivier Giant, back in 2014. Flor de Olivier Giant. It was a 10 by 66. Yeah, that was actually a decent cigar. I mean, it actually burned pretty decently. And that was actually a great cigar. It actually lasted like 2.5 hours. And I was just out here in the garage just watching videos on my iPad. So that was a great cigar actually. But that's the exception to the rule. Most of the time, those giant donkey dick sized cigars, as Brian Glenn calls them, you're gonna have burn problems. You're gonna have tunneling. You're gonna have wonky burns. You're gonna have all kinds of crap, all kinds of shit. They're not really worth it. I mean, honestly, if I'd have my perfect cigar, a lot of people ask me, like, what's your perfect cigar? I don't really have one, but if I had to have one, I'd say like this, with a light wrapper. I'm not a huge fan of the dark wrappers because they tend to burn a little bit, wonkier and tend to, have burn problems, this and that, I'm definitely somebody who likes, different cigars, nice big ass cigars. So I'm almost at 40 minutes. I really hope this is going to record. So it's going to take a long time to process. But I do like to kind of shoot the shit with you guys, shoot the shit and, talk, ramble, this and that. A lot of people want to see me do live stream, and someday I do intend to, on YouTube, to do a live stream of me smoking, maybe when I have like the house to myself, my parents are out, I can, do a video of me like shooting the shit with you guys, excuse me, hog. And do like the live stream and like smoke like a couple cigars back to back. So I should also at some point do another question and answer video, another Q&A. I haven't done that since the beginning of 2017. So I should do another Q&A video. So me smoking cigars. This is actually giving me a decent buzz. I'm actually getting a little dizzy now. I'm actually getting a little lightheaded, so little dizzy, little delayed reaction. So this actually has a decent amount of nicotine. So But yeah, I'm almost done with the cigar. So starting to get kind of gets general flavor. For rating of the cigar, this Punch Diablo, kind of I'd say out of 10. Probably out of 10, I give it out of 10. Probably a 7 out of 10. Not bad, kind of average in my book. It's not bad. I mean, I've had worse cigars. I've had better cigars. Pretty straightforward, pretty plain flavors. I asked the guy for a average cigar. I asked him, the guy at the liquor store, for a full-bodied, full-strength cigar, a lot of flavor. Not really, not really. I mean, this is kind of just plain. But you know what? I didn't want to spend $20 on a Padron cigar or like a anejo or anything like that. So I didn't want to spend like a shitload of money. So you know what? You get what you pay for. So this is not bad. I mean, this is a pretty nice cigar. I mean, it lasted for what, 40 minutes. That's pretty nice. That's pretty damn decent. So yeah. So I know I do miss smoking Padron cigars. I do intend to when I get my Christmas money, my Christmas money for my Christmas, Oh, and speaking of that, I will be doing a Christmas haul. So December 25th, 2019, on Christmas Day, I will be doing a Christmas haul. My 2019 Christmas haul. I know a lot of guys are looking forward to that. And actually last year, I did my Christmas haul for 2018, and I actually forgot to show you guys that I actually got some money. I actually got some nice moolah, nice big-ass moolah, like the big-ass cigar, and I actually forgot to show the money that I got for Christmas, but I showed the majority of the stuff that I got. Yep, so there will be a Christmas haul for 2019, and I will be, doing a video for Halloween, for Thanksgiving, for Christmas. I will be, showing you guys what I get for Christmas. This is done. Yeah. Okay. So anyway, thank you for watching. 7 out of 10 for rating for the Punch Diablo. Thank you very much for watching. Hope this will upload. Anyway, big ass cigar for life. Bye.